At the Spiel Game Convention in 2023, I got to try 2 prototypes from a new publisher named Playpunk that was started by Antoine Bauza, designer of Seven Wonders and Ghost Stories, among other titles, and Thomas Provost, who was previously co-owner of Repo Production, which was publisher of Seven Wonders and Ghost Stories, among other titles. So those two had a great design and development history. I was very curious to see what they would be releasing. The first title that I tried was Captain Flip, that was released on the market in early 2024 and was nominated for Spiel des Jahres. Got a review there if you want to check it out. Fantastic little game, very family friendly. And the second one was a bit more involved. It was called Archon at the time. And it's by Gregory Grard and Matthew Roussel, and it's a light strategy game, playable by either 2 or 4 players. I love the game. I might have mentioned before, I'm a fan of innovation. It had a very innovation-like feel in that the cards were essentially little tools that you would try to put together to make things happen. It's not quite analogous to innovation, but it does have that aspect of being handed a random box of parts and you trying to put everything together and make the best of it. One thing I really love about games. And Archon is now on the market as Zenith, so thought I'd look at it in more detail. Played it a number of times since then. 13 times on Board Game Arena. There's a digital version there if you want to try it. I have now played 5 times with the published copy in the team version. So let me give you an overview of how it plays. Here's the Zenith game board set up for a 2-player game, which is nearly identical to the 4-player team game. Each player or team starts with 12 credits, the currency in the game used primarily to buy cards. You have 1 Zenithium, that's a secondary currency used to advance in technology on this part of the game board. And you have a hand of 4 cards that would be private, of course, but I'm going to keep them public so I can show you how things work. You can discard whatever you want and then refill your hand to 4. So you look at the cost of the card. As long as you have a few low-cost cards, maybe you're good to go. And I have these. Sure, let's just say I'll start with this. Okay. On a turn, you are going to either play a card in front of you and carry out its effect, or discard a card and take the leader token, or upgrade the leader token if you already have it, or discard a card and pay the Zenithium cost to advance in technology. And the primary thing you're going to do is play cards in front of you. Each card has a cost in the upper left-hand corner. They also come in one of 3 types: humans, animods, or robots. They have one of 5 colors that match the colors of the planets that we are trying to influence. So we got Mercury, Venus, Terra, Mars, and Jupiter. Cards in those same as 5 colors in the deck. Each time you play a card in front of you, you are going to carry out the effect down here. So if I decide to play this one, I'm going to spend 2 credits. I'm going to influence Mercury by sliding it 1 space toward me, although towards you in this case. And you then pay me 3 credits and you get to influence a non-Mercury planet. There's a little purple circle here with a slash through it. Don't know if you can see that well. You're going to move it 2 spaces towards you. So you give me 3 credits. Choose something else to move. You've got Mars in your hand. Maybe you want to go ahead and take Mars 2 spaces. All right, because you play this in the future, you get 1 more space. And if you move it off the board entirely, then you get to keep it as a trophy. So if you move it off here from this spot, 1 more movement goes off the board and comes over here. And this is how you win the game. If you collect the same color 3 times, you win. If you get 4 different colors, you win. Or if you get any 5, you win. So eventually, someone is going to win as things progress. Okay, so let's say you give me 3 money, took red over. Okay, to end your turn, you refill your hand to the hand size of 4. Okay, so you start with random choices and are going to try to put something together over time. All right, look at what I have here. I have this guy, moves Terra one space, and it takes a planet and moves it back to the center line, right? This would be in this direction, of course, because I'm playing it in front of me. So if you got Mars over to this space, I can pull it all the way back to the middle, but it costs 7 credits, which is a lot of money. Okay. I can influence Mars, and if I have the leader token, I get a bonus, right? So the leader token is good in a number of different ways. Let me show you the leader action. So to do that, you're going to discard a card from your hand. And depending on the type of card it is, you get a bonus. You discard a robot, you get a Zenithium. Human, 3 money. An Animod, you get 2 cards. Put into your tableau. Talk about why that's important in a sec. But I'll discard this human. I get the leader token, and because it's a human, I get 3 credits. Right? So now I've got all this money here sitting in front of me, thanks to 3 that you gave me, and 3 more here. And the bonus of the leader token, one thing is that my hand size is now increased to 5. So to end my turn, I refill my hand to 5. There we go. And there we go. Your turn. Every turn is a little action, and they all add up over time. Now, one benefit of having cards in front of you, such as when you take this robot action, or just from playing cards previously, is that you get a discount on future cards of the same color. So if I decide to play this card for you, it costs 6 credits instead of 7 because you have 1 purple card already here. Right? So if you play purple next, you'll have a 2 credit discount, and so on. You get to influence Mercury once, you get 3 Zenithium, and that will take us into the third action in a moment. Refill your hand to 4. Okay, so I'm looking at what I have here, and you want to, of course, try to put things together. I've got 3 blue cards. Maybe I can really think about concentrating on Terra to get that over here, because I would have 1, 2, 3 influence, although it would cost 19 credits to get that done, which is a lot. And I can't really take advantage of this power. Okay, let's go with what I have here. Maybe I'm worried about you getting Mercury too close to your side of the board. So I'm going to spend 4, put this down. I get to move Mercury towards me, and since I have the leader token, I get to move it a second time. And this would be this way, of course. Arrows going towards me. Okay, now we're back where we started. Okay, little tug of war here. Not quite where we started. You get 2 credit discount. I get 1 credit. You still have Mars over here. I refill my hand to 5. And you go. Okay. So what now? You got all this Zenithium. Let's talk about doing stuff with that. Okay. So you can play a card, carry out its effect, take the leader token, get a bonus, or discard for advancing technology. And the technology you get, well, it depends on what thing you're discarding. So if you discard this robot, right, it costs 8 credits. You have only 1. Probably not a good idea right now to be sitting on so little money, right? So let's say you discard this. You're going to discard a robot, cost 1 Zenithium to move the robot token in your color up 1 space. Okay? And when you do that, you get the bonus that is shown here, which in this case, that little card, the rectangle with an arrow, is you choosing one of my cards and moving it to your side of the board. So there you go. That's the only card I have in front of me. You can pull this over. Now you're going to have a 3 credit discount on every purple card, and I have nothing. That may seem like a minor thing, but everything adds up over time. And one big benefit of doing all this, well, let's see if I can talk about it in a moment. You discarded this robot. You refill your hand to 4. I now go. Right? I put this down here. I'm going to do everything just to put us back to 0. I pay 4. This is possibly a terrible idea, but I'll move Mars, and because I have the leader token, I move Mars over again. All right, refill my hand to 5. Now you may say, you're sick of this. You want the leader token. You need some money. Why not discard a human and get that money? All right, let's discard this. You take the leader token from me. You get 3 credits. You refill your hand to 5. Okay. More choices and some cheap cards. This one will give you some credits as well when you pay for it. I have 5 cards in my hand. When I play a card, I do not draw because now my hand size is 4. Okay. This is actually the ideal card to play at the moment. Play Donald Smooth, which costs 2. I move Jupiter 1 towards me, and then I discard a card in my hand, and I get money equal to the cost. I'm not going to play this card anyway because it's 10 credits, but now I'm swimming in money. I should be good for a while. Oh, and I discarded a card in addition to playing a card, so I do draw again. Okay. And we keep carrying on from here. So you see, it's very much a tug-of-war. This is a very direct tug-of-war in this example of Mercury and Mars going and then coming back. Usually not that direct, but okay. You're using the technology over here for different powers, often to do things that you can't do with the cards you have in front of you. Some cards will let you steal things from my tableau and move them over to your side, but if you have a robot and enough Zenithium, you can just do this right now. And the benefit of advancing on the technology track is that you get all of the previous rewards of that type. So if you discarded this robot and paid 2 Zenithium, you would go up to the 2nd level in the robot chart. There's a bonus marker here. Whoever first hits this space with their marker gets this bonus. You get to move a planet of your choice 1 space toward you. Maybe you're really devoted to Mercury now. Okay. In addition, you get to claim the leader token, or if you already have it, upgrade. Now your hand size is 6. And you get to pull a card as well. So you get to do everything from the top and you keep going down. So you can take red or green. Maybe you take red. Okay. So you've done all of this. You have 4 cards in hand. Your hand size is now 6. You're going to draw 2 more cards. And we continue. If you had 3 Zenithium, could discard a 3rd robot, you would push this up here. You would move 1 planet of your choice 2 spaces towards you. A different planet, it's got a not equal sign there, 1 space. Then you would take the leader token or upgrade it. Then you would pull a card over. So the more that you go up in a technology, the more you just compound all of these rewards. It gets expensive, paying 3 and 4 and 5 Zenithium, but the effects can be huge. So late in the game, you start doing these types of effects and just have some sort of devastating impact. You move 3 adjacent planets. You steal 3 of my money. You flip over 2 cards just into your tableau, which can give you a discount for the future or help you with something like this. You move a planet. All of that at once. Okay. As you pile these cards up, you get to play more expensive cards and have more devastating effects. You also pile up the cards and you have an effect like this where you get to move Terra over for 3. Okay, that's not great, but you can discard 2, 4, or 7 blue cards from in front of you and move Terra an additional 1, 2, or 3 spaces. So if Terra was in the middle and you had 6 blue cards, you could play this down. It'd be free because you had 6 blue cards. Now you got 7 blue cards. You can discard them all. You would move it 1 space and then 3 more, and it's off the board. So you can have big effects in late game as you start piling the cards up in front of you. Okay. There's a lot of iconography on these cards, and there are extensive iconography description cards, right? Double-sided. It's the same one. Each team or player gets one, and they describe all the effects. And it will take you a little bit. That is one drawback. Everything is iconography, so you can use the same cards no matter what language you speak. So you got to work through that. But they become pretty familiar after a game or two. Okay. So we could carry on, but I think you get the idea. You have this tug of war back and forth, trying to get these planets over. Now, once you take Mercury, you're going to put this up here. Mercury comes back out. And I'm like, okay, you got that. But now you've got this big pile of purple. And if you keep drawing Mercury cards or doing some effect that lets you steal Mercury, like this card here, you would influence Mars, moving it one towards you. Then you steal one of my cards, and you move that matching planet towards you one space. So if I put a purple one down there, you'd both steal my purple and move Mercury. And if you get Mercury off a second time, well, now I need to watch out for Mercury for the rest of the game. If you get that off again, you win. But while I'm focusing on keeping you from getting Mercury, you can do other stuff, right? There are only a limited number of purple cards in the game. And if we don't throw them away for an effect like this, eventually you just pile up all the purple cards here. I only had this happen in a couple of games where you go through the entire deck. No one wins quickly. There's lots of back and forth. And the cards just pile up here. We got this little pile of discards that we shuffle to make a new deck. And now how much of each color is left? How much can we even influence anything? Then much more the technology comes into play, because this is for whatever color, 3 adjacent of whatever, right? 2 on any one, and so on. So you have that focus of taking things. But if I took a blue and then I took a red, okay, I'm not specializing in anything, but if I get any third color, now you got to watch out for me in Jupiter and Mercury, right? Make sure I don't win those. And even if I don't win those, now anything I take will win. So there's this progression constantly towards victory. All of these effects, all of the technology, a leader token, all of it drives together to get you to eventually just claim these tokens. That's it. It seems really minor, just taking these tokens. But everything just compiles together, swirls around, and it feels really good when you can set things up based on the cards in your hand to make stuff happen. Right? So here I can pay 1 to 4 Zenithium to move a non-Venus planet 1 to 3 spaces. So you can take some effects here. This one, I influence Terra, and I can discard from in front of me one card of each non-blue color to get a Zenithium. So if I wanted to, put this down, discard all these, get 4 Zenithium, and now look at me. I'm loaded up to do this next turn. So you start seeing the combos for everything as you're putting this stuff together. You're planning not long term, but you're planning a few turns, because this is all you have in your hand. You can't plan too much, but you can make some plans, carry them through, you get new cards, you carry on from there, and you keep going. I played 5 times on this review copy from Playpunk, and all of those games are team games. So let me talk about that for a moment. In the team version of Zenith, you have another person, you're sitting on the same side of the table, and you are each taking an action on the team's turn in whatever order. So our turn, I go, you go, or you go, I go. Right? We're working together. But there's some limitations on how we work together. I can play cards only on 3 colors of planets: Jupiter, Mars, Terra. And you play on Mercury, Venus, Terra. So we can both affect Terra, but 2 planets are off limits. Right? We're working on opposite ends of the solar system, as it were. So I can't play those cards, but I can discard them to advance technology. That's fine. And I can also discard them to claim the leader token or upgrade it. That's okay as well. And when you take the leader action, you can give your partner up to 2 cards from your hand, which is a very cool thing to do. So you get to shift things off to them, and that really plays into the way how teams work, because you can't just reveal your hands to each other. You can talk about it, you just can't show exactly what you're going to do. And often we're saying things like, I can get you money if you need it, right? And looking at what we have in front of us, we got $4. Do you need more money? Can you get me a Zenithium or 2? I can really use it, right? Or if you can move Terra, I can get it off the board. Something like that. So you're making plans and then try to work everything out. Or on my turn, I take the leader action, right? Get that token, pass cards to my teammate with the card I hope they're going to play on top, because maybe I just took a Zenithium, I took some money, I'm setting them up, and I give them the card that they can play that I can't. So it's a great feel of working together with someone else and try to make this happen, trying to mesh that all together. You can talk about what the other team is doing. You can talk about what you want to do. We really got to focus on here, right? We're going to play defense. I really want to advance on the animod track, if we can do that. Whatever it is. It's a very different feel playing with someone else. And I like it a lot, even though I've lost all 5 of those team games that I played. I don't know exactly what I'm doing wrong in them, but it's not working out. I think I'm playing a bit too much defense. I'm trying to prevent the other team from getting whatever they need. I'm assuming that they have what they need and I have to stop them, rather than just like, they don't have purple, they can't claim Mercury, I don't have to worry about Mercury. Let me just focus on advancing something. Right? I feel like Jason Mendoza from The Good Place. You've seen that. Prevent defense only prevents you from winning. You got to take action. You got to do something. So haven't learned that lesson still, even though I feel like I've learned it. And then I play the game and I get very hyper-focused on, no, must stop this. Okay. What does the team feel? The team feel just works so differently because you do have those 2 actions together. So you get to bounce off each other instead of having sort of back and forth with someone where I do something and you undo it, and I do something and you undo it. Instead, you mesh those together, you get bigger actions. But of course, the opponent is doing the same as well. So you have to account for that. I really loved playing the game, as bad as I am at it, just because it has that feel somewhat like innovation, where you're putting together these pieces and making something happen. Innovation gives you more because you've got cards on the table that you can use continually, whereas here you play them once and they're done. They just sit there out of play. They don't come back unless you discard them and then you shuffle through the deck and then they come back into play, but that hasn't really happened. So you get a one shot and then it's done. So you got to make the best of what you can out of what you have. And that type of challenge is something that I always find really engaging, is just taking those bits and pieces here and there, sort of MacGyvering it all together. I can take this technology action and then I get a Zenithium off this leader token that I get to take it away from you so you can stop having more cards than me. And I've got a card that's going to give me a benefit when I play the leader, and so forth and so on. And it just like mesh it all together. And you draw something, and sometimes it's perfect for what you're trying to do. And sometimes you're like, I can make use of this. Or at worst, I throw it away for some other benefit, because there's plenty of cards that let you throw things away to get money or Zenithium or advance in a color or whatever it is. So you're taking all these parts and fitting them together. I love it as much as when I first played it back in 2023. I'm glad it's on the market and other people get to play it as well. Or you can go on Board Game Arena and play it that way, of course, but not quite the same as the in-person experience, especially when your opponent's gloating so much over how well they're doing. It's fun for them, but maybe that's you playing against me, gloating over your victory. It could happen.